Good afternoon, everyone. So today's webinar is about the Peppol Ap Admin Applet. So this one currently I'm using account.cloud to present it. So in account.cloud, if you search for Peppol, then under the Peppol AP tenant, you will have the Peppol AP Admin Applet. So this Peppol AP Admin Applet is not for the customer or for the end user to use. This one is specifically for our internal use only, meaning like the wavelet or big ledger employees will be using it. The main idea of this Peppol AP Admin Applet is we created one tenant called Peppol AP tenant, and this in this Peppol AP tenant, whenever we are receiving any documents via Peppol from other parties, then those come to this Peppol AP tenant first. And from here, we do some filtration and then we send the document to the other tenants accordingly. So what I'm referring to other tenants, for example, here demo staging, staging tenant is one living staging. These are different tenants. So let's say I am creating any Peppol IDs, for any of these tenants, and then some other companies send documents via Peppol to this Peppol IDs, then it will come to this Peppol AP tenant first, and here we'll do some filtrations. We have some sorting out mechanisms. So after that, it will send the document to the other tenants accordingly. So if I open up the Peppol AP Admin Applet, the first menu I'm seeing is the inbox queue. So this inbox queue usually will be empty. As you can see, in this case, it's empty because whenever any document sent to us via this Peppol AP tenant, then it comes to this queue first. And after that, once it's processed, it's basically removed from the queue, and then it moves to the inbox history. So in the inbox history, I can see a listing, and in this listing, I have a few information over here, which are the sender ID, the receiver ID, the document date, and the process ID. So this process ID is basically unique for each of the document itself, either sent or received via Peppol. So if I click, then I can see the sender ID. This is the sender ID. This is the receiver ID. So this receiver is basically in our tenant. For example, this one is for demo staging, if I'm not mistaken. So let's say in the demo staging, if I go to organization update for the demo staging tenant, then I go to the company listing. So for this MySoft, if I open it up, then here I can see the Peppol IDs. So basically, uh, I think this one 203005. Yeah. So this one is the one that we have used for testing earlier. So we have the sender ID, the receiver ID, the document creation date time, the process ID, all this important information. So this export button doesn't work for now. This one I'll ask the programmer to remove because we don't need any export button over here. And this listing basically contains all of the documents that we have received via Peppol for other tenants. Then after the inbox history, the third menu is the registered companies. So the idea of this menu is we have multiple tenants with us, and each tenant can have multiple companies, and they can, for each company, they can have multiple Peppol ID registered. So here, if I use this tenant filtration to filter based on a certain tenant, for example, let's say I use demo staging, then if I do the filtration, then I'll have a list of test company, tenant company Peppol IDs, the company name, the code, and all those things. So for example, for the demo staging, we have created a few Peppol IDs for this MySoft company. So let's say other than MySoft, we have other companies over here also. So if we create Peppol IDs for any of these companies, then those will also appear under this filtration. So as of now, whatever I can see, if I go for MySoft company and then I go to Peppol config tab, then here I have a list of registered Peppol IDs. So whatever I'm seeing basically will be reflected over here, and not only for MySoft company, for other companies also. But for now, we only have created a few to test for the MySoft company. That's why currently I can only see the MySoft. But if I create for other companies also, for example, the invoice test or the company A one living test, then those will also come up under this filtration. Then after that, the last tab we have is the test bed tab. So this one currently not in function, but when we initially developed it, the idea was to replicate the pinned MY test bed into our system. So under test bed, we have two sub-menus. One is the sending test, another one is the validation test. So this sending test is basically, if I go to this sending test, then if I click on this plus, then here I can select um, how I want to do the sending test based on which document type, because Pint MOI supports multiple document types. So I can select that, and then based on the expected format of this document type, I should have my XML. And then if I paste this XML and click on submit, then uh, if the sending test is successful, then it will be successfully submitted to the other Peppol IDs. And under this XML, here we need to mention the Peppol IDs, all those things, who will be basically receiving it, and then we can send the document. And the validation test is also similar. If I click on this plus, then I can create multiple validation tests. There are multiple validation tests available under PintMY. So basically, we took the idea from there to replicate it into our system, but later for the SP and the PRSP accreditation, the MDEC asked us to do it directly from the testbed itself. That's why we didn't use these menus after that. I think so far that was all the description or the explanation related to this Peppol Ap Admin Applet. So just to recap, this Peppol Ap Admin Applet is not for the end user or our customer. It is specifically for the Weblet or Big Ledger internal employees. And this Peppol Ap Admin Applet is only available under this Peppol Ap tenant, because this Peppol Ap tenant is used to store all of the incoming Peppol documents, and from here we used to do some sorting, and based on that mechanism we send it to the other tenants, like for which tenant it's supposed to be sent by the other parties. So basically in Peppol Ap tenant we do some filtration, and that's all. Hopefully my explanation was clear. So I'll stop sharing, and thank you everyone for listening. Have a good day.